Hello and welcome to the introduction to the new Just Calling stamp set and Just Calling dies. This is a really fun telephone themed stamp and die set that is also interactive. So here's the little mini stamp set. There are several little sentiments just calling to say, I miss you, I love you, I heard the big news, hello, let's get together, happy birthday, hip hip hooray, and sorry. And then this is the dial that goes on the telephone like a rotary, the old school rotary phone, and then some little imagery, heart, diamond ring, a gift, 3 hearts like a party, what do you call that, like a party emoji. There's the telephone cord. And then now for the dies, I'm going to show you what they all look like. I did a mixture of color because I just had so much fun with this telephone. So there's the base of the telephone, which I did out of 3 different colors. And then you have the handset. Is that what you call it? I had to Google it. I'm not sure what the thing is that you hold to your head. There's 2 different phone cords, just 2 different swirly designs that you can choose from. And then here's a little base detail that you can add. You don't have to add it, but if you want to get a little contrasting color, just adds a little more detail. There's also a little die for teeny little feet that go on the base of the telephone. Again, optional, but just added detail. Then these are the little details to the handset if you want to do a contrasting color. Now this die is if you want to make it interactive, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. There's the large wheel. This is also the interactive part that you can use, but you don't have to make the card interactive. This little solid circle here goes in the middle of the dial. Here's the little dial. It's one white circle, and you can use the stamp set to stamp the numbers on the wheel. Is that what you call it? And then the little detail that covers it, which I did out of some grapefruit cardstock. Now these interactive die cuts are labeled. They say glue 1, and then these 4 little dots, glue 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over here the dial is glue 6 and 7. So if you want to go in order to put it together for an interactive card, I'll show you how that works. But first I'm just going to glue on these little details to the phone. I believe the phone base is lemongrass cardstock, and then this little base detail is avocado or grasshopper. Sometimes I forget. The little feet are dark evergreen cardstock, and so it's just 3 different shades of green, but you can see I have a red phone up there with grapefruit and harbor, and then over on the left I did a purple phone. So you can see you get a lot of different looks by customizing the colors. Okay, so putting on those little details to the handset. Now for a card base. I'm using some of the new Winterberry cardstock. I'm just making a standard A2 size card, scored it down the middle, and then I want to show you how you line up this interactive die. You're going to butt this up right in the center of your front fold. Okay, it's not gonna, that bottom part is just gonna bump up right to the edge, and you just want to center it. I'm gonna hold it down with a little Easy C pink tape. That way it stays right in place when I run it through my die cutting machine. So I took it off camera, run it through my die cutting machine, and then I'll show you how this looks. Basically, it makes 2 little openings. One is like a speech bubble right in the center, and one is a little circle opening for your interactive what do you call it, like spinner mechanism. Okay, so I'm scoring that with my Teflon bone folder. You have your Winterberry card base ready to go. You could also do the card base out of white or whatever color pattern paper, toot your flute. So here's your little circular spinner that's going to go behind. But first, you got to add things to it. So I'm going to quickly stamp a bunch of sentiments. There are little like oval embossed segments that are going to fit within that speech bubble, and so I'm using all the different sentiments that are in the Just Calling stamp set, and when you rotate it, you can rotate and select your custom sentiment, or you can use the icons, which I'm going to use a mixture. I'm using just about everything that's in the Just Calling stamp set. Hello, I love you, miss you, hip hip hooray. I'm using some of the, what you call these, like emojis, the iconic images, a heart, a star. You get the idea. There's 10 little openings. So you're going to have to fill with 10 different things. Now here's where it says glue 1, and then you have the glue 2, 3, 4, and 5 little discs. And I'm going to glue these all to the center. You just follow the directions. It couldn't be easier to put together. And when you stack up these 4 little discs, it makes enough dimension that it creates like your spinner mechanism, for lack of a better term. This is what your wheel is going to spin on when you stack up these 4 little doodads. Okay, I'm using my little embellishment wand or a quick stick tool, whatever you have, really makes this process a lot easier. So make sure that that's nice and dry. You might want to press down, hold, count to 10, whatever you need to do. And then now put together, while that's drying, my little rotary dial. Okay, so I have a dial cover out of grapefruit, and I've gone ahead and stamped the numbers on the wheel. So I'm gluing this on, and I went ahead and die cut 3 more just to make this dimensional. So I end up stacking up 4 grapefruit covers for the dial. You don't have to do 4, you could just do 2, but this is what you're really going to use. You're going to put your finger on and spin. So it's nice if this is a little bit hefty, a little bit thicker and stronger, because this is the part that you're going to be, turning with your finger. So it's nice if it has a little bit of heft, a little bit dimension. And you know what I say about dimension? Dimension is life. Okay, so you're going to put this wheel, you're going to slide it in and pop that little spinner mechanism right through that die cut window opening. And then you can see how your little sentiments fit in the speech bubble. Okay, now I'm going to glue the phone onto the Winterberry card base. So put a little liquid glue on the back of it and see how the phone has a hole. Just fit that right around your spinner mechanism. Press down on your card base. Make sure that's nice and secure. And then you're going to glue the dial right onto that spinner mechanism. And the phone has 4 little notches. That's just to help you center the dial. So make sure you got your 1 at the top. I guess you don't have to make the 1 at the top, but it does look good that way. So you're going to let this dry completely before you try spinning it. Don't try to spin it until she's dry. So go ahead and put the rest on. You got your little spirally phone cord. You know those old phone cords that used to get so tangled up? I used to be able to stretch our phone cord across the whole entire kitchen and sit in the living room. That's how long we had a cord. Those were the good old days. Okay, then that little extra solid dot that kind of covers up the glue number. And then I also did a little heart. You could use an enamel dot, but this little heart is from the Spring Bunny die set and just adds a little fun detail. Okay, see your spinner on the back. And then once this is dry, you can turn the dial and it will turn the sentiment inside the speech bubble. And that is the interactive fun of it all. I showed this to my daughter and my husband, and they were like, that is so cool. Everybody loves an interactive card. They really think that you're like a wizard, like you're so smart. Here's another example where I use eucalyptus and I believe that is a sunflower phone or honeycomb. One of those colors, but I just kind of switched up the colors and it gives you a whole new feel. And then one other one here I paired with that Folkart flower Turnabout pattern background, and I did the hello from the Sweetest Pie dies. So another color combination with a pattern background, and that is the introduction to the Just Calling stamp set and Just Calling dies.